Hey everybody, welcome back to the Tribe of Nerds. Shannon and I are back for another Survivor What If, looking through the Survivor multiverse. With us, we have a fan of Survivor. She was on the first Survivor Fans versus Favorites, Survivor Micronesia, Tracy. Tracy, welcome to the Tribe of Nerds.
Thanks. Welcome. Thank you guys for having me, and thank you for being interested in keeping the game alive. It's because of everybody like you guys that are obsessed and love the game that makes it like the reason I even went on. You know what I mean? It's all about us. It's all it is. So you were going to ask what ifs. Let's have it.
Yeah, so you ended up swapping from the Fans Tribe. You worked your way into all of a sudden being in power on the Fans Tribe after being on the bottom. And so you get swapped to the Malakal Tribe with Ozzy, Sari, Amanda, and Amy. And so what if, so we saw Chet got injured and basically had to leave the game. And what if instead of that happening, you were able to get Amy to flip and you, Eric, and Chet were able to blindside Ozzy with the idleness pocket earlier in the game? So what if that happened and you were able to, again, work your way into a better position in the game?
Okay, great. So I love the question, like we talked about. And what I think is really cool is that Jason and I had quite a night on Exile Island. Your whole pod is like about what if. If only I had stopped Ozzy from making me like feel like an ant. And, you know, you've got to go to Exile Island. And that's something that my husband says to this day. He's like, why the hell did you go as a woman? And he goes to the Herbal Essence hair thing. He said, you know, how dare he send you to Exile Island? So I went to Exile Island and it was a horrible night. Cruz left. We were all alone. It was probably one of the most, I mean, I would take 9 deliveries in a row with birth before I would go through that night again. It was that bad. And I honestly don't understand how we got through it, but we did. And Jason and I had a plan. And it's weird that it ended up on the editing floor because I was in the treehouse on Exile talking to the producers before the storm hit. And we were talking about how we had kumbaya'd and come together and that we were going to really like, I had no idea that he was like this with Eliza. And so Eliza's all you need, right? You got Eliza on the other side and I got Amy on my side, right?
Yeah.
And I just bonded with Jason and we just needed KB to stay in the game.
Right.
What if KB had stayed in the game?
Yeah.
I don't know why it kind of like, you know, it's all about the strategics of what they want for the fans and what they want you guys to see. But there was so much about our season that was edited out.
Yeah.
I guess there's a lot of things that were edited out, but what if I didn't go to Exile? You know, we would have definitely gone against Ozzy. And what if, you know, I was able to get back and have KB still be in the game?
Right.
Then we'd have the numbers. We had everything we needed with Jason, me, Amy, Eliza. And Amy just didn't believe me. She was like, you know, when she got voted off, I said, you're coming right behind me. I said, I hear them talking around camp when you're out like doing something. I said, you're coming behind me. And she says, Tracy, she goes, you know, I can't go against Ozzy. I said, well, that's your demise. And Amy did not vote with me. And had she voted with us, because Sari was down, because she's a player. Yeah, she was down. Sorry, my gardeners are here. Anyway, and it was a really, you know, it was a really hard thing just to go through so many what ifs. And then KB threatened to cut her finger off. And I'm like, gosh, she was away from me for one night. Yeah. Like, I wish that, you know, before when she was kind of like, I need to get off the game. You know that KB was on meds, on Zoloft. Did y'all know that?
I think there's been like stuff around online that is like kind of alluded to.
Oh, she was definitely on Zoloft, but they never tested her for Zoloft.
Okay.
So she went cold turkey coming off of Zoloft on the show. And I'm like trying to talk this poor woman into like being a whole human. And she's going through a lot emotionally. Like she is really, really like having a hard time. And I have Chet talking about baking Christmas cookies in the hut with me talking about, baking Christmas cookies. And I love to bake Christmas cookies. Sorry, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, good. And the point is that he's falling apart. He on the third challenge had stepped on a stone, which had a massive infection in his foot and a high fever. Everybody called him a wimp and a the P word and everything else. And, Chet he's, of course, Chet's gay and he's, which is fine and fantastic. And he's not just a feminine soul. He's a very strong human that was very sick. Mm-hmm. He was very, very sick. So I'm trying to play devil's advocate between the two of them. So I've got one on a drug rehab coming off here and withdrawal. And then I've got Chad who is injured. And that was it. That was it for me. I thought to myself, what am I going to do? And there's when Natalie Bolton came in. Mm-hmm. Natalie Bolton, I got to her. And she was able to keep me in by voting with me and going against Truck. We went against Truck and blindsided him. All you had to do to Truck was just build him up.
Yeah.
Just build him up. You're awesome. You're great. And just build him up. And Mikey B, I love Mikey B. Mikey B is one of the funniest. And I know I checked you guys out a little bit just before I scheduled this. And I know there was like one of your shows that you had, and you were talking about he would have been a really funny character. He would have. Mikey B is, you never know what he's going to say. He's very charismatic. He's got a lot of, he's just got a lot of character. And I just wish that he had not been so up Mary's ass, because he and Mary would just like padunk every night. And I get it. He's a guy and he's young, but I mean, they were just, it was between, I ride with them and then heading right over to, Malachi. It was like, oh my God. I mean, it was just like a sex fest. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. So speaking on Mikey B a little bit, there's a rumor that when he was voted out, it was actually a tie vote, but the edit didn't show that. Like, was there a tie and then a revote? No.
Never.
Wow.
Slam dunk out. 100%. Yeah, that's a fallacy. There's no truth to that whatsoever. Mikey B was so blindsided that it almost broke his heart because he's such a good, loving person. But Natalie went against him. Alexa didn't. But we had everybody that we needed. It was just him and he and Mary and Alexa, and everybody else just went against him because we had to. Yeah. So it was a very funny season. When the season started, it was very much so. When you play Survivor and then you go back on Survivor, you really have an advantage. Mm. Even if you played it twice and you go back on for your third time, you have an advantage. The editing. How things are like right now. If I had only known editing was going to be the way that it was, then there's things that I would have done different. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. What if? They didn't even edit when I was stung with a scorpion and ripped all my clothes off, and Alexa was there to help me. Do you remember? None of that. We didn't get to see any of it. Yeah. It was a lot of things. My nose being broken, edited out. You do see the third season where we won the coconut challenge, where we're holding the coconuts.
Yeah.
You can see my black eye, and you can see that they didn't show me a lot. They panned away from me on this side because where I was hit. Yeah. It was pretty bad.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't even notice it. Like when I don't even think like when you show up in the future episodes that they even it's not noticeable.
Yeah, it was in the football challenge, and James just came in and said, "Let go of the bag." And this was after, I'm dealing with, I'm gonna break your knee. Penner's like, I'm going to break your knee if you don't let the bag go. And I'm like, Penner, you're not going to break my knee. He said, let the bag go. I'm going to break your knee. And I'm like, oh, he's not going to break my knee. And I just let the bag go. Because these guys are like, this game is not fake. I'm telling you, when my season was out, we were hungry. We were cold. We were wet. And James was like, let the bag go. Let the bag go. And I'm like, come on. Because I just let it go for Penner. Right. Yeah. And then, I've talked about it with E and all of them. And I'm like, I wouldn't let go. And he just, boom. And I caught me right here in my nose. And I went down and I let that bag go quick.
Wow. Yeah. That I mean, it's tough when you're up against guys that are as big as James and Penner and.
And then he would show up. You know, they would show up at the. I know that I can talk about it now because my time's up. But they would show up. James would show up. You know, the favorites, and he would stick his tongue out. He'd always go like this, and his tongue was purple from. They were breaking into the production camp, which was on their side of the island, and they were doing Gatorade. You know, and we weren't allowed to talk about that. And I was like going, really, Gatorade? God, what it would do, you know, what a great electrolyte boost.
Yeah.
You know, it was hard. And they ended up getting caught. And that's why he and Alexa got caught. And that's why they were off. But they still let him win the fans' favorite. They didn't tell the fans, you know, he got the vote, you know, for fans' favorite. But I think that the fans should have known that he did that, you know, because it's a game changer and it's cheating.
Yeah, that's definitely been a rumor that's been out there, but it was kind of viewed as like a conspiracy theory. But now, like, it's really interesting to hear this.
No, it was real.
Yeah, because I assume that's how Alexis hurt her knee when she was like, "Oh, my knee is hurt because I fell at night." It was from breaking into their camp.
Yep. They both broke in and they both got some stuff and they got some snacks and they came back and they shared it with camp, and which is just not fair. I mean, they got they got off. They had to, you know, but I think that they should have aired it. They should have aired all of that. It should have been, you know, and it was a big problem for me because, you know, I just wanted the fan. I'm a fan. You're fans. And I wanted an opportunity to have a fair shake at the game. Like, I started out of the gates, and that woe is me. I mean, you have your game, your hand that's dealt. There's many people that have been dealt hands, I mean, that have been horrible. But I knew how to play the game of Survivor, and I was a competitor. I mean, I don't know if you remember when we were throwing the rocks on one of the challenges. I mean, none of the guys could hit them, and I was nailing them. They didn't know that I was second base. You know, and in softball, and it was MVP, and I was like ching, and I was breaking them, and the guys couldn't even hit him, and Penner was like my ass. He couldn't hit anything, you know, and we were just, you know, Sarita was talking about it. She's like, little bitty Tracy's hitting all of them, and but they didn't highlight any of that, and I think that it was such a storyline to have Amanda and Ozzy, you know, together. It was a storyline to have her play James, because she, you know, Amanda and Ozzy were just like, I had to sleep beside them. And I looked over one night and I'm like, you know, this is when I was in the Bat Cave, and I'm like, do you guys smell each other? Like, you know, and they just didn't care. I mean, they were just going for it. And Amanda played him like a trumpet. I mean, she got everything she wanted. He got, you know, until she was ready to dispose of him. And that's what she did.
Yeah. So she was in on his blind side when it did happen as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. And you got to remember, she's coming back from China. Yeah. So she didn't have a hiccup. Like, she just came from China and then went right into this, but her body had already adjusted, like, to all the changes and stuff. So she was, you know, she was out there first thing in the morning. She's a badass. I mean, she was out there first thing in the morning, and she's fishing with the nets, and it's cold. I mean, when you don't sleep and you're wet and you never really dry, Amanda, I mean, excuse my language, she gave no fucks. I mean, she was out there in the morning and she's getting that net out, and she was, I mean, she deserved to go as far as she did. Mm-hmm. She did.
Yeah, she's the first person to last all the way to Final Tribal Council twice in a row. So
yeah, she's tough and she's a good competitor. I just, you know, she and Ozzy just booed up, and she played him hard. And we all saw it. I mean, we all laughed about it around camp. And, you know, then you have Parvati, who's, you know, she's playing James, you know? So, you know, I actually have James's buff. They gave me James's buff instead of my buff from Malachi. And yeah. And it's funny because, I mean, he wanted to win. He and Truck had a hard time. They were very competitive for the biggest. And a lot of people gave me grief because I got out Mikey. It was my whole, and I got out, Truck. And Mary, of course, we had to get rid of Mary because she was not to be trusted. Like she was at all. And Natalie and Alexa had no problem voting against her at all. So we all went together. What if I was able to get back, if I had gotten back from Exile Island, and they knew this because I told them our whole spiel behind camera, they knew that if I got back and KB was there, we were going to make a run. So I always think in the back of my head, they knew that we had the numbers. They knew that I had, and Amy said to me, how can you be certain that we have Eliza? And I said, well, I'm going to Exile Island with Jason. I'll know everything about the tribe. And I did. And by the time I got back, KB, we still did the challenge, but KB tapped and they let her go. And I'm thinking, couldn't they have talked her into it? Like, couldn't they have just said, why do you want to quit? But they said it was a medical thing. So.
Right. Right. The other what if that we wanted to go through with you, Tracy, is what if you had swapped to Ira instead of Malakal? So like you would have been with like Parvati and James, and I guess we can maybe assume like you and Kathy switch places, or whoever.
Well, or if you're with Kathy, do you think you can talk her into staying? Maybe.
Absolutely. All she needed, the second she got away from me, because it was like a therapy session every day. It was like I was psychology, 101, 102, 103. I mean, I was just, you have to understand. I mean, Zoloft is it changes your mindset. It does. And she went cold turkey, so I can't it was a real deal for her. Like she was really withdrawing, and she crashed off. I mean, it was a train wreck off of it. And then I was worried, like, well, if I don't kind of talk her into getting off, then what if something happens to her? Like she goes into sort of, and then she was trying to cut her finger off. She literally wanted to cut her finger off. She's like, if I cut my finger off, I can go. I said, KB, you don't have to do that. And then Chet wanted to quit, but he wanted to go with Dignity. And I love Chet, but I'm like, Dignity is to stay with us and take a hit and then keep us in. But it was just, I mean, I was doomed from day one. I cannot believe that I was able to stay on like I did. If I, James was a hard one. I don't think I ever would have won him over at all. I do believe that with Jason and Eric, I could have got them. Eliza was doing her thing, man. She was doing her thing for Amy and us on our tribe. Like she was out on her tribe. So she was playing her leverage that she could play. And we kind of communicated, when we went in to play games. When we had to play and, not at tribal, because at tribal, you could kind of read people. Tribal council's hours. You know that, right?
Yeah, that's what we've heard. Yeah, from other people.
It's grueling. Like you got to go, you got to take the boat, and you got to get on the thing, and you got to lay there. You got to get mic'd, and then you got to walk in, and then you got to wait, and it's just hours. And they don't care if it's raining. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you're going through or what you're doing. You're there. You signed up for it, and what you try to do while you're there is you try to play the other players. You try to read what's going on off camera. And who was really good at that was Natalie. I mean, she was the boss. And I honestly contribute her to me staying in. And Amy kicks herself to this day that she did not vote with me. To this day. That is just, it was her, she regrets it to this day. Because we would have run the show. It would have been a fest.
Yeah. I mean, either way.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, I think a woman was winning Micronesia no matter what. So
absolutely. I mean, Eric was so competitive with Ozzy that he was in awe. And Ozzy could do no wrong. And when Eric was with Ozzy on the same tribe, it was like he was in awe. I couldn't get him to come off, his man crush. And But I've tried. I mean, there's so much that you guys, there is so much about this game and this season. I really felt that they never thought that we would do as well as we did.
Mhm.
I think I mean, you know, Jeff was like, Tracy, you were the most underestimated player of our season. He said that at Tribal Council. And I really thought that I was going to get another chance to go back.
Mhm.
I really wanted to go back one more time. I mean, I'm healthy enough, I'm in great health, and I just, you know, I really wanted that chance. And when I submitted, did I want to go back? And I said, here it is. Yeah, I'll go back. And they go, okay, we're going to let you know if we're going to pull you. And I never heard. And they said, we'll let you know by, you know, sometime in March. And I never heard. And I was like, I was so
Were you
mad.
in the running for the second chance season? Because I feel like that would have been a perfect time for you.
Yeah, I mean, you know, any time for me is a perfect time to go back and compete. I mean, because like, I mean, I love Survivor. I'm not afraid of the game. I'm not afraid to do things. You know, there's a lot that upsets me. Like, I love Sari, don't get me wrong. I mean, I love her. She's funny as hell. But there's a lot of challenges that we lost because of her. You know, and a lot that you guys don't know. It's like when we were trying to get through the barricade on one of the challenges, and she couldn't get through, and she blocked the hole. And I mean, don't get me wrong, she's great at balancing and puzzles and stuff like that. But when it came to true athleticism, I mean, I wasn't out of the gates when Chet said, "I'm a diver, let me dive in." It's like my kids grew up on swim team. It's like, I mean, I grew up on the lake, and I was like, guys, I grew up on the lake. Please let me swim. And they were like, and then this is what did it for me with truck. And, you know, and Mikey B, no, Tracy, you're going to stay out on this one. I'm like, guys, but I swim, you know, and if you'll notice a lot of the challenges, they were just like really not letting me compete. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've owned 3 fitness studios, and I mean, I'm in fitness my whole life, and I don't get it. And even Sari was taking up for me, like, she's really good. You'll notice, like, on some of the photos when we're taking off on the beach, I'm right behind Amanda. I'm right behind her, and she's fast, you know. But I mean, I wouldn't beat Eric or Jason. Jason was very athletic too. He's very, very athletic. But you know, Chet was just he was just injured. And he loved playing the game, but he was out from that injury. He just couldn't. I mean, he had a high fever. I think they took off like in the hospital. He was in the hospital for 2 weeks. Did y'all know that?
No.
He was in the hospital for 2 weeks. He never even got to go back. Now they say that he was protecting him because, you know, Truck wanted to kill him, and he was actually feared for his life because he was acting kind of deranged. Like, he was like, had his hair hanging in front of his face and going, kill, kill, kill. We was playing arcade games when we got back to, you know, to camp and Ponderosa. And he was just kind of acting kind of off. And he was, you know, laying there with his hair down really long in front of his face. And he kept going, kill, kill, kill with the video games. So they thought, you know, there were some people complaining about it. And they were like, okay, so we're going to keep Chet, you know, separate. And, but they did take, I think it's like close to 30 cc's of fluid off his feet. Yeah, it was bad.
Wow.
But then you got Penner, who played, you know, with us, and, you know, his leg gets stabbed, and he's, you know, he doesn't want to go out of the game. So there's just the diehards, you know, but Penner was hurt pretty bad.
Yeah. At least Penner got to come back in Philippines from that. So
yeah, he's dope. He's a true artist of the game. I mean, that man, let me tell you something. Excuse my language. He gives no fucks. He doesn't care. He wants to win. And if you were on his team, he wants to win. He is all about Survivor and all about winning. I mean, he is one of my favorite players of all times. I mean, I get where Parvati was coming from in her gameplay, and I love that people love to watch her, and she's beautiful, and I get it, but I can't. I mean, I'm married, so, and I was also, you know, 44, but I can't just have sex on the game, just to
Right.
win. You know what I mean? But to each his own. Look where it got her, and
Right.
she's just judge not only to be judged, right?
Exactly. Shane, do you have anything else for Tracy?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you because, we know your season post merge had some of the craziest moves ever seen. So, what was your opinion? When I'm sure you heard about these things happening before it was on TV. Did you even believe it? If they came to you and they're like, "Oh yeah, Eric gave up immunity in the final five." Did you hear about it before seeing it on TV, or was TV your first reaction to it?
No, we heard about everything. So everything that happens from the person that goes off, they come back and they're not supposed to talk about it at Ponderosa, but we all talk. I mean, it's all there. I can show you, I love your questions. These are shots from us when so we were going to Fiji, right? We weren't going to Bangkok. Well, we went to Thailand, but we were going to Fiji where were we going? Somebody found out that Yao Man was on the season. Did y'all hear about that?
No.
Okay, somebody found out that Yao Man, when Yao Man got voted off, we were all doing Ponderosa in Fiji. Okay? And then somebody knew something happened and they had to take us from Fiji and they were looping us back to Thailand. So we had to go back to Thailand, to Palau. And so this is so funny. This is the night that we were talking about how he said, "I'm so sorry that I messed up everybody, that we couldn't go to Fiji." So we were all having fun with Yao Man and everybody. And it was just, everybody knows, and everybody is, cyber and the internet, everything's instantaneous, and you can't be seen. They can't know him, but he blended in more in Thailand than he did in Fiji. You got me?
Yeah.
So that's why they had to change the whole thing, and they rerouted us over to Thailand, and then to Bangkok. We went there. Johnny Fairplay was so happy. Yeah, and but anyway, your question. We find out about everything because of Ponderosa. When people get voted off, we know what's going on and we all talk about it. When Amy came, she's like, "Eliza's next." And I knew it. And then we knew that Jason was coming after her because that was just our alliance. That's who we were.
Mhm.
It sucks. But Eric, I think he really took the humiliation hard. He really did. And I think his second go around was he said he just can't do it again. Eric's a really nice guy that trusts the wrong people.
Right.
I tried. I had conversations with him. I said, "You're an idiot right now." I said, you really are completely on the wrong side." He goes, "Well, that's the side I'm going to stay with." And I said, "Again, that's your demise." I'm like, "Why won't you believe me?" I said, I have children on my kids' eyes. I'm telling you right now, this is what they're going to do this to you. And he didn't believe it. And, and it was hard. And I often ask myself, why did they put me in such a situation? You guys probably don't know this either. I want to tell you things that you guys don't know.
Yeah.
So it's like when you get on the show, they ask you to send all the outfits. Have you ever heard about that before?
Yeah.
Okay. So then, I had this little bracelet that my daughters had given me. They had made it, and I wanted to wear it, just this little bracelet. And they were like, "You can't wear that bracelet." I'm like, "Why?" And then you get on the show, and then everybody's got bracelets on, but they want you to look a certain type. They want you to be a certain way, And they took I was known as the acorn smuggler. Everybody knows I had implants and all that stuff. But I was the acorn smuggler because of, but they took the pads out of my top that help, the protrusion of your breast. And so I'm like, so I was supposed to be playing a role, I guess, of like a MILF or something at that time. And then it gets crazy because everybody has their role in the game. That they're supposed to play. Y'all get that on Survivor, right?
Archetypes, yeah.
Who's your favorite Survivor player of all times?
I would say Malcolm. I love Malcolm. I actually met him about 10 years ago, just because he used to live in Hermosa Beach. So I met him, and my family just coincidentally was there for the Rose Bowl for Michigan State, because my family is huge Michigan State fans. So ended up meeting him walking down the alley by our rental house, actually. So
I love Malcolm.
yeah.
For me, it's hard because I feel like I have different categories of favorites, but if I have to say, probably Yule. I've always really liked Yule. I like the very strategic players like him.
I mean, everybody loves Yule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Yule was like, he's old school. I mean, he's, you know, I mean, I miss, we really were starving. Like, I do believe that CBS put some big clams out there for us to find because we were that hungry. I still, they will not admit this. This is, you know, completely my opinion, but they were too strategically placed. We had, like they would be like, we were starved to death. And like, we couldn't catch the chickens fly. They fly so high. And I never knew that. And, you know, coconut, you know, thank God for coconut, but we just couldn't get food. And we needed fishing gear. And then it was monsoon season, and then you can't, there's no dry wood. And the second that your fire is up and running is the second that they pull you out for tribal, or they pull you out for a challenge. Okay, survivors, let's go, and you got to leave. And like, what are you going to do to the fire? The fire goes, you know, it's crazy, but it's a great game. Did you apply?
I am not. I did an open casting call like 5 years ago, but that's the only time I've ever like gone for it. But
well, what do you think of the comparison between Survivor then and now?
That was way better than now.
Yes.
Now there's some serious problems with it. It's very different. Like, because I mean, I've been rewatching some seasons, and I think with the new seasons, it's too meta. Like, everyone just comes in, and it's about forming alliances. It's about, like, we need to go get food. Like, we actually need to survive here, and alliances are a thing too. But it's less like game bots, where now it's full.
Completely agree with you. Completely agree with you. And I was like, you know, it was kind of hard to watch, you know, seasons that would come after, and you would just like, why did they have so much food? It's like,
yeah,
it's bad. It was, you know, this is what we, some of the things. So this is some of the stuff that Jeff, I got in trouble for. This is what we ate out of. I mean, these were our little bowls to everybody. Who has the tree mail? They never suspected me. And I was the one that stole the actual tree mail.
wow.
I did. Oh. I have the actual tree mail from our season. These are the real tree mail. And I'll never forget, and that's when Jeff, that's what he was alluding to when he was like, you were the most underestimated, because they kept going, somebody's got the tree mail. We need that. And I feel a little guilty because they like to auction it off, but I auctioned off other things, you know. And then like the water bottle, how I got this home in my suitcase, that I got in so much trouble for taking it home, but I did. I'm like, you know what, guys? If you're going to let people drink Gatorade on the show and not show things, then I'm going to take the damn water bottle. And I did.
Yeah.
I did. These are the letters from home. Did you ever, people show you the letters from home and all this?
No.
They all come like this. All the letters from home come in this. I think they give it to everyone. These are our actual bags. The IRI buffs are all here. This is the stinky buff that I had that I was on there. This, you know, you have no idea how much a buff means to you on the island. Like, it's like, it really does keep the bugs out of your ears. And, you know, I was personally on antibiotics for 7 months. I was hospitalized. And then I had to like do some serious stuff because we had so many rat bites. Like, did anybody ever talk about our season with the rats?
No.
Well, Palau was riddled with rats, you know, like, and what are rats like? Coconut. So what do we have? We had to go out on the other side, and we had to dig like these big holes, and we had to throw all of our coconuts in so that we could just like keep the rats away. Because at night you would hear through the pom-poms.
Oh.
You know, they'd come in, and yeah, and it was just It was a real thing. And I feel like, I mean, why couldn't they show when I got back from TC and I put my shirt on, I had a scorpion bite 2 times. Scorpions bite twice. And they don't, it was a lot that they didn't show. So it's just, but I would do it again in a heartbeat. And I really wanted to be on 50. Who do you want to win for 50?
That's
someone like old school player. Like I would love Colby to win it. Aubrey's another one I like. So if she were to win it, that'd be good.
Yeah, I'd say Christian, Rick Devens. I think the new era player that I would be good with would be like Charlie. I think Charlie would be a good winner.
I'm okay with Charlie. Yeah. But what do y'all think about Sari and her gameplay?
Sari is an amazing player.
Yeah. I like Sari, but I feel like we've seen so much that maybe we didn't need her on 50. If they were going with 50 being like all these legends, then of course you need her. But the fact that they made it like this kind of mixed cast, like they could have opened the door for someone else possibly.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I would have.
But I mean, your season, I think Sari should have won because they went in thinking it was a final 3 and they took her to the final 3 and she probably wins that. So that was a really bad break, but yeah.
The thing about my season with Sari is that Sari really floated a lot. I mean, she would get wood, but I called her on the, everybody knows this about me there. I called her the fire poker because we'd go get all the stuff and she would sit there and poke the fire, but you got to poke it and stoke it, right? But, and Sari's funny. I texted her before she went on for 50 and I didn't hear back from her, so I knew she was filming. But, she's done a lot with Traitors and, Australia, getting back from Australia and then going right back on again. I just thought it was a bit much.
Yeah, I did too. She's played 6 times now at Survivor, and then Traitors
and Big Brother. Yeah.
Yeah, but she, she'd probably do it again.
Oh yeah.
Probably.
No, seriously, she'd probably do it again. I mean, she has I think that I'm just going to say it. I might get in trouble for saying this. But Survivor just became, over the last 10 years, it just became so political. Yeah. And I want to defend that statement by saying, I don't care who you marry. I don't care what gender you are. It doesn't matter to me.
Right.
What I want is for everything to be fair and not to be heightened on one side than the other, or, just things to be cohesively honest.
Yeah.
Honest. And I to this day, I was so pissed, and a lot of us were pissed that James got fan favorite and he got the $100,000 because, supposedly Jeff said I was one of the top 3, but who knows? We never know. And the thing about that is that it's not about the money. It was about the principle that, how do you cheat in the game and then still get, but I think that's maybe why you haven't seen him again.
Yeah.
Well, because I mean, when we saw him in Heroes and Villains, like his edit was very different. And I mean, there's a rumor out there that in his first 2 seasons, he was given nicotine patches and he was not given those in Heroes and Villains. And that explains a lot.
Yeah.
He was. And Fair Play was really pissed about that.
Yeah.
Because, Fair Play was Jonesing too. And, it's not, it has to be across the board. You know what I mean? It can't be for one and not the others. And that was a big thing with our season. But I think that in Survivor's defense, I think it was a learning curve because it was the first time they'd ever had fans, like they experienced against the fans, the super fans. And we were just, when we came out, we learned so quickly that everything was so different than how you see it. Like, it's just like brutal. Like, these guys, they will take a girl out in a heartbeat. There is no, if you're going for something and they want it and they're going to win and it's going to make a difference in what they get that night, then you better drop it.
Yeah.
I'm serious. And it's just like, there's no, I feel sorry for you. No, it's okay. I mean, I know that the last season, with gosh, what was her name? She was crying, and she has the Asperger's, and he was calming her
Oh,
down.
Eva.
Yeah.
Eva.
That was a very sweet thing, and it was good, and they really gave it a lot of airtime.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What do you think 50 is going to be like?
A mixed bag. Like I'm still excited for it, but I do feel like it isn't going to be as exciting. Like, for example, heroes versus villains or something like that. Like, it's not going to feel as big as it should be. I feel like in some ways.
Do you think Todd should have come back, or Courtney?
Yes.
Me too.
Todd.
Courtney, I don't think Courtney would do it. I mean, Courtney. Yeah. I mean, I shared a room with Courtney and Todd. We were at someplace, and the rooms got wonky, and I said, guys, I'll stay with you guys. And so we just all stayed together. And Courtney didn't. I mean, she wanted to tap out her first season, and she didn't. And she became a badass. I love it. And that. But I don't think she'd do it again. Did she say in an interview she would? I
haven't heard it.
Oh, yeah.
But I'd love to see Todd back. Todd actually made me my own pop because he makes the pops. So I'm very grateful for that.
Todd is one of the nicest, most. Have you met him?
No, not yet.
Oh my gosh, he is literally so sincere and so loving and so heartfelt, and he is such a good human. Yeah. No, really, he's somebody that you leave your dog with, because he is going to love your dog like you. I mean, he is just a real, genuine person. He is everything you see, and I think that's why he got into trouble, because he wears his, his emotions on his sleeve. And but he's a great guy. He's a really great guy. We've had the opportunity, and you know who else is a super great guy is Rob. Boston Rob. Mm. He is the nicest guy. Have you met him?
No, not yet.
Yes. Yeah. I have. Yeah.
He's so nice. We hung out in Kentucky. We were doing the big Kentucky thing, and he and Amber are just so sweet, and he's a great dad, and he's just is who he is, and he deserves, out of anyone that's had the opportunity to do what he's doing with his new show and everything, and with casino and poker and all that, he just deserves it, because he is really that guy. Yeah, he really is. So I wish I'd played with him, but no, I wish I didn't, because he would have been brutal.
Right. Well, yeah, because if you played with him on Redemption Island, you'd be done. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to play with him. He's brutal. Yeah. But anyway, So I don't know. Are there any other questions? Anything that you want to know about my season in particular? Like anything like that you've heard?
Well, one thing, I don't know if you know the answer, if anyone knows the answer, but you know how your season was supposed to be a final 3, they changed to a final 2. Mm-hmm. What would have happened if it was a tie? Because it was an even number jury.
That's a great question. I love your question. I think it would have gone to another challenge. It would have been a challenge, probably. I think it would have been that, because that's the only way. It has to be 3.
Right.
Yeah, it has to be 3. And one of my favorite seasons of all seasons, which we don't hear a lot about, but I love Guatemala. I thought that, Bobby John, and that season was just, that was incredible. And I wish that we can get back in the future. I hope that, I don't know if it will, but I hope that, I know it's in Fiji again, but I wish that it would be more authentic again, like different locations, but I know it's a money thing and
themes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I always used to love watching the finale and waiting for the reunion to see where they're going next. Like, it was just always a fun moment, but we don't get that anymore.
It was exhilarating. Oh my gosh, they're going here. Oh my gosh, they're going there. And I do believe to this day, and I hold true to it. That's why I'm rooting for Colby. My heart's of heart. I hope he wins, because I think he really should have won that season, but he gave it away. But anyway, I think that Australia was the hardest season ever.
Yeah. I mean,
in any season.
Yeah, that was so focused on surviving the elements back in the day. So. And
China. Yeah. I mean, I remember Todd talking in the hotel room. He had that when you get the parasites, because I had parasites too, that's why I had to be on antibiotics for so long, they go through your toenails and they kind of just go up in your body, and they end up, that they're there when they desecrate, and you see like little scabs, and they go to the fatty parts of your body, which are primarily your booty, right? And he's like, I had these like scabs on my butt and they were parasites. And, China was pretty crazy too. They got really sick in China. And that's one of the reasons why Amanda didn't want to go back. She said it was just too hard on her body.
Yeah.
But she did it 3 times.
Yeah, 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She did it 3 times. Good for her. But she really is. She's a survivor. I mean, she is a really good player.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Strong.
For sure.
Damn, that girl can fish. On my season, she caught the shark, but it was in the net. It was in the net. But anyway.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much, Tracy. This has been great. So, but with that, we will see you all for more Survivor What Ifs. So subscribe, share, like, comment, and we'll see you all next time on the Tribe of Nerds.